Hello everyone, welcome to the HCIP Open Outler Certification course. I'm the Huawei trainer, Peggy. We know that the storage is a very important part of our computer system, which is directly related to the security, reliability, and overall performance of the data. So in this course, we will introduce the storage management of Open Outler, and it's including NAS, SAN, and distributed storage. And now let's start with our storage management course.
Storage is an important concept in the computer system, responsible for storing and managing data. As information technology advances and enterprise storage demands evolve, storage technology and architectures continue to innovate. In this course, we will explore the basic concepts and the practical applications of various storage types. After learning the course, you will understand the basic concepts of different storage types, NAS basic principles and usage, SAN types and applications scenarios, and also basic principles and common volume modes of GlusterFS. And in Chapter 1, we will introduce the basic concepts of storage. In the first two chapters, we have introduced how to build a web server based on Open Outler, and then obtain the corresponding resources through the server, whether dynamic resources or static resources belong to the data. The Storage Networking Industry Association defines data as a digital representation of all transactions, including an email, a piece of digital music, a video, or an e-book. In the world of computers, data is stored as binary data, that is, 0 and 1. In order to have access to this data at any time, we need to store this binary data in one place, which is what we will introduce in this chapter, storage. In addition, data is stored in storage, but not all of this is meaningful or has a specific purpose. So we use information to represent data that has been processed and has logical relationships. Information includes data with context, relevance, and purpose. But whether it is data or information, it needs to be stored through electronic devices. These devices are data storage, and we will call them uniformly storage later. So let's introduce this storage. We divided the types of storage into narrow sense and broad sense, in which narrow sense storage includes optical disks, floppy disks, and data disks, and so on. It's mainly for individual users and stored in computers' internal storage devices. Generalized storage includes disk arrays and related devices, such as RAID cards and SD cards. It mainly refers to more professional storage devices used by enterprise users. In the following sections, we will learn the principles and the use of generalized storage devices. Actually, with the development of IT industry and IT technology, the architecture of storage devices is constantly changing and developing. The earliest data are stored in the local computer. This form we called built-in storage. However, the internal space of computer is limited. As the amount of data increases, the limit space cannot store more disks, so the disk is moved outside the computer, and then the computer accesses the storage devices located outside the computer through the SCSI protocol. This form is called Direct Attached Storage, DAS for short. With the development of the network, data sharing between computers has become more frequent and smooth. If you continue to use the architecture of DOS, the data must be shared through computers connected to external storage, and this become a bottleneck and failure point. So the architecture involves to share storage. Shared storage is the most important storage architecture in current enterprise applications. In this architecture, storage is placed in the network or direct access by computers using network protocols. We will introduce the specific solutions of SAN, NAS, and GlusterFS. Next, we will look at the classification of storage to see how storage devices organize and manage storage and make it available to computers. From the ways storage is used, SAN, NAS, distributed storage are all shared storage, while local data disk and DOS are exclusive storage. Shared storage means that one storage device can be used by multiple servers. Exclusive storage means that the storage media can be used by only one server. From the perspective of data storage method, storage can be divided into block storage, file storage, and object storage. Block storage uses the bare disk to the computer as if it were a new hard disk. The hard disk can be used only after it is partitioned and formatted by the operating system. File storage is the form of a directory. When a user uses it, it can create a new subdirectory or upload the file directory in the current path. Object storage is a relatively new form that divided data into objects for storage. Users download or upload data through the URLs. Users cannot directly modify data in the object store when using the data. And combine what we have introduced before, SAN is block storage, and NAS is file storage, and Gluster file system also is file storage. Finally, we can also divide storage into centralized storage and distributed storage according to the location of storage media. For centralized storage, it means that data is centrally stored in a storage device, and then the computer communicates with the controller of the storage device to obtain the corresponding data. And then the computer communicates with the controller of the storage device to obtain the corresponding data. All management services are centralized deployment on the controller. The controller can create multiple storage pools, and each storage pool is an independent logical unit of data storage to a computer or client. And in distributed storage, storage media are distributed in multiple storage nodes. Each storage node serves as a server with a common architecture. Distributed storage data is distributed among storage nodes. When a client uses a distributed storage device, the storage also creates multiple logical storage pools for the client to use. And combined with what we have introduced before, SAN and NAS, which we will introduce later, belongs to centralized storage, and GlusterFS belongs to distributed storage.
In this section, we covered data, information, and storage, and we described the built-in storage and shared storage, centralized storage, and distributed storage in different categories. In the next section, we will look at NAS file storage in shared storage. Thank you for watching.